Hi, everyone. I wanted to talk to you today about your final presentation assignment. So, this is an oral interpersonal class, and most of what you've been doing in the previous weeks has been a lot of interpersonal work. The oral presentation is essentially a speech. So if you've taken a speech course in high school or in college, even, this will be familiar to you. If it's been a while since you've given a speech, please don't fret too much. I know public speaking is not everyone's favorite, but it's a great skill to have. So you have a couple options for this speech. The first option is that you are selecting your own audience. And to do that, you need to find at least a minimum of three adults to watch and present your speech to. The thing about this option is that the adults need to be shown, and it needs to be shown that you are delivering to them. So you need to indicate to us on your camera that you are presenting to them throughout the speech. That might mean that you have somebody behind three adults filming you, presenting to them. It might be that you have one of your guests show the audience and then show you, but we need to be able to see that you are actually presenting to three adults because unlike a video recording like I'm doing right now, where I can make edits and stop and start when I want to, the purpose of a public speech is to speak on the cuff and live, and you don't get any do-overs. So you will set up a audience of your choosing of at least three adults. I would like them to be over 18, please. So parents, grandparents, coworkers, friends, all of those are fine, but they need to be adults. So if you have a baby in the room, that's lovely, but they don't count as one of your audience members because they can't give you feedback. And then the other option is that I have 3 Zoom times scheduled for the last week of class. So I have 2 times scheduled for Wednesday, the 25th, and 1 time scheduled for Thursday, the next day. So if you cannot gather your own audience of 3 adults, then you can set up a time to Zoom with me and at least 6 other classmates, or at most 6 other classmates. So think about that first. The other part of this is that you are giving a presentation. So you are giving us an informative speech of 5 to 7 minutes. And by informative meaning you are teaching us how to do something. So you're not persuading us about something. You are simply helping us understand a concept, something better. And it is 5 to 7 minutes. So that's I usually give an over under of 30 seconds on either side, so 4.5 to 7.5 minutes. And you do need to have at least 2 sources that you're including in this speech. So there's an example posted in this week's folder about Amy Poteet is an instructor here at Western, and she likes to visit graveyards. And so she has created a template for you of what your speech outline would look like. It could be something that is a hobby to you. So you could be teaching us how to sketch from a live model. You could be talking us through your favorite type of cuisine. You could be teaching us how to pack. One that I usually go to is how to pack lightly for a long trip, because when I travel, I only take a carry-on or a backpack. And my trips sometimes are 2 weeks at max. So not having to pay the extra luggage fee, being able to carry your bags with you all the time and not having to lug things up lots of stairs. So I might teach people how to pack for a trip. So it could be a how-to speech. It could be you are just walking us through your favorite band, why they're your favorite. Whatever you want to teach us about, inform us about, it's your choice, so long as it is college classroom appropriate and that you have 5 to 7 minutes of information and that you are using at least 2 sources within your speech. So that means that you are looking up sources, you are talking, interviews count. So if you wanted to interview somebody about something, you could do that too. And then you are presenting us with that information. And as with all speeches, there are some things you want to focus on as far as your delivery. So speeches are made of the content that you deliver, but it's also made of the delivery portion. And that means making eye contact with your audience. So if you are delivering on Zoom or in front of other people, You need to make sure that you're making eye contact with your audience. So for me right now, recording this, I'm making eye contact with a little bitty dot above my screen. And I have to remember to look at that and not to look down at myself on the monitor. If you're in front of people, obviously you want to distribute your eye contact to them. You also want to make sure that you're speaking loudly enough that we can hear you, that you're speaking slowly enough that you're not garbling your words together, and that you are doing things that don't distract us from listening to you. So it's okay to use a little bit of hand movement, but you don't want to have your hands flying all over the place because we tend to get distracted by that. If you are filming at home, making sure that you can do so in a quiet space where there's not a TV or a radio playing, where there's not lots of pets and family members walking around, that you have the dedicated 5 to 7 minutes of time where you can present in a quiet, calm, semi-professional setting. So imagine you were having a job interview. It's kind of like that. You want to make sure that your setting represents you and it's easy to see and hear you. So this is your last big assignment. It is your informative speech of 5 to 7 minutes with at least 2 sources cited. And you are going to be informing us of a topic of your choosing that is classroom appropriate. And think about also, as you do with all things communication, who your audience is. Maybe going back through our Padlets and seeing what your other classmates are interested in. Maybe you share some common interests that could draw some ideas for you too. What do you think your classmates might want to learn more about? So there's lots to read this week, and we are coming close to finishing our term together, and you've been doing great. I've been really enjoying your posts and your interactions with each other. Make sure, again, first, that you think about when you can present and whether you can gather 3 people, 3 adults on your own. If not, sign up for that section with me on Zoom, what your topic is going to be, and then start researching and writing your speech. I have templates up there for you to look at, lots of good reading to do to walk you through all the different stages of it. And, even though you'll be recording live, that doesn't mean you can't practice. So practice is one of the ways that I tell students to alleviate or eliminate or lessen some of your fears and anxieties about public speaking. The more you say it out loud, the more familiar you will be with the content, the easier the words will flow. You don't have to have all of it memorized. I advise you not to memorize speeches, but have notes in front of you. We don't want you to read the speech to us because it's hard to really stay engaged when somebody's reading a 5 to 7 minute speech to us. So have it practiced enough, have it knowledgeable enough, have a topic that you know well enough that you can kind of speak easily about. But you can have some notes in front of you. That's absolutely fine. Just making sure you're not reading your speech to us. So I hope that helps. I look forward to watching them and possibly meeting with you all on Zoom. And as always, if you have questions, please let me know. Take care.